the Palette, the only magazine that gives free artist space to any artist of any medium. So if you're an artist or an entrepreneur or some type of content creator, tap in so you can get your space for free. And you could possibly be the cover of the next edition of the Palette. The January edition is actually going to be coming out tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. And they'll be coming out probably every month around the 19th or 20th from now on. So this live, I'm just going to jump right in. It's going to be more so about the synchronicities and things that's happening all at the same time in this little time frame that we have of 2025. So 2025 just started, but I feel like the effects of anything that happened from November to now is all kind of affecting the next couple months. I mean, that's how time works anyway. But these last few months have been different. um, what I mean by different is it feels like it's always been a spiritual warfare, like throughout history. But because we're approaching what people are calling like the Aquarian age and stuff like that, we're coming out of Pisces age or the Piscean age. We're going into the Aquarius age, which is about like growth, humanitarian stuff, just stuff that's out of the norm, um, possibly straying away from tradition, things of that nature, but also just awakening. Like if you know, if you know of zodiac signs in general, or just like Aquarius specifically, or believe in it pretty much, they are very more. They're very much like trying to wake up the world. Like I'm on the cusp of Capricorn and Aquarius, so it's a lot of like trying to be the teacher. That's why I wanted to start this YouTube channel. So let's get right into it. The full moon being longer than it's ever been, not ever been, but usually each phase of the moon has about 3 or 4 days where it's in that phase. And then it moves on to the next phase because it's growing more light or it's losing light going up, depending on if it's going to a full moon or a new moon. So this full moon that just passed, and it's kind of still passing, has been in the sky longer than it should, like maybe 5 or 6 days. Because I remember it starting like last week, like it was like last Monday or some shit like that. And I was like, oh wow, like it's still a full moon and it's Friday. Like that's crazy. Right when my birthday is too, because my birthday's tomorrow. But anyway, I digress. Um, the full moon being longer or being at a longer phase or this phase lasting long. I don't know how to say it, but I don't know. Y'all know what I mean. Um, that plus the planets lining up. So if you look in the sky, like you can't really see it with your naked eye until I mean it kind of just looks like either red or orange planets. But I use an app called the Skyview app. I hope I can kind of bring it up, but the Skyview app lets you kind of just like see AR wise, like augmented reality, and it shows you where the constellations are, each star, information about the stars, constellations, planets, stuff like that. But it also shows their orbit. And so when I looked at it, I noticed Saturn and Venus are like right next to each other, like either behind each other. It's I mean, of course, they're not like, running into each other, but on the app, it actually looks like they're lining up and like touching. So there's something with the planets aligning. TikTok is being banned. Well, I don't really think it's going anywhere, but that's just my opinion. Who am I? But I don't think it's really going anywhere, just for like, just reasons where both presidents have said that they don't want it to be banned. But there's also the Supreme Court that has to rule over it. Now they said something about it Friday. Excuse me. They said something about it Friday, but I'm not sure, so I have to look into that. We'll probably look it up now, but we don't know. What I find hilarious though is the moving over to Red Note. So like Americans really said, "Fuck that. We are not going to use any of the other stuff like Meta or anything else because we already know, Zuckerberg already admitted that he let the Biden administration sway him into censoring like true things about them, which is definitely propaganda. And if it's not actually propaganda, it's propaganda adjacent, but definitely psyop type of behavior. So a lot in this channel, we'll be calling out a lot of psyops because there's a lot of psyops that are kind of being lifted right now. Like people are kind of seeing through the veil. Not everybody, because we know that it's not everybody, but there's a lot of people actually waking up, and I think a lot of that has to do with TikTok, and that's why it's being banned. It's nothing to do with like Chinese security or nothing like that. Like them taking our data. Like we just jumped onto Red Note, and when I went on Red Note for maybe all of maybe 3 days or so, and then they try to get me to do the whole real name verification. So at first I was like, I don't want to do it. Then I almost gave in because I was like, I want to make money on every app. So, but I was like, I don't know, man. I don't think the money is worth me submitting my entire like ID or passport and then having my IP address displayed on my profile. I was like, that's another. You know what? We do have some freedoms here. Like, I'm not even tripping no more because I'm not putting my. I mean, of course, you can find people's IP addresses. Like, usually, if you are able to peek into the server side of a lot of stuff, but not a lot of people are like keen into doing this. So I'm not too worried. At least not with my audience. But the next thing is the drones in the sky or the Dior bags. So I don't censor myself, so I'm just going to say drones. I don't care. The drones in the sky, a lot of orbs and stuff like that. It might be spaceships, might be UFOs. I always believe in UFOs and spaceships and all that other stuff before anything that any other person tries to tell me for some reason. Like maybe it's a conspiracy theorist to me, but I also feel like there's no such thing as conspiracy theorists. It's just people that question things and should be questioning things. I feel like everybody should be questioning things. And I feel like honestly, anybody that calls anyone else a conspiracy theorist because they're questioning things, like you're an op, like you're an enemy now. But I've had a couple people call me conspiracy theorists like recently, and I was just like thinking in my head, like I don't care. Like once I consider the source, I'm like I would not trade places with this person, so I don't give a fuck. Excuse my language, but I figured like I see the results of you not being a conspiracy theorist. Like, I can look at you and see that it's not going well. But I digress. Um, but what I would kind of mix in with that is like the alien disclosure. It's almost like the veil is lifting and people are getting information so fast that the people in charge, like the high ups, the elites, they can't wrap their hands around it fast enough to kind of control the narrative. So there's stuff that like they could have disclosed aliens like a while ago, like UFOs, UAPs, everything. They could have disclosed it back when Roswell was happening. Of course, who knows what I don't know the reaction would have been because back then in the 40s and 50s, I don't think everybody was really there. Um, I mean, you could argue that they were like, the strongest generation because they went through this and this and that and that. But I don't know, man. I feel like the internet brought a lot more information. Like people only really cared. I mean, it might, I can't talk right now. It might be that that's the way to live anyway, where you only know what's happening in your vicinity. And then the internet came along and let people know what's happening across the world. But I feel like knowing and expanding your awareness to the entire planet is what makes the planet rise in awareness because your awareness is rising because you're not just aware of your surroundings, but you're aware of like surroundings outside your surroundings. It's like you can, I feel like that's really what your vibration correlates to as well. Like as you raise your vibration, your awareness engulfs, like your aura kind of like engulfs the room that you're in, and then eventually the house that you're in, then the space around you. Like you could pick up on who's walking from like 20 feet away. This thing keeps going in and out, and I'm so sorry, you guys. It's so annoying. But what I would also say to like whole TikTok stuff, drones, I feel like a lot of it, of course, is the elites trying to censor everybody. It's nothing about the data, but it's also about spiritual warfare. Like because they know that people are getting this information, they know that people are raising their awareness, so they don't want that. They don't want you to raise your awareness, raise your awareness. They don't want that because then we start to peep game. like we start to see, like there's this video where this guy, it's a clip from a movie, and this guy's like walking around and he's like seeing like with these glasses on, like the obey, like the thing beyond the veil, like on the, like in real life, I guess you could say, it's saying like, oh, drink these, da 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 da. It's like an advertisement for like Coke or something, and then he puts the glasses on and it says like obey, like drink poison, stuff like that. So it's almost like we're putting on those glasses now and we're seeing reality for what it is, and then you can see kind of like the beings that people are, like people's energy. Like I don't know about you, but recently I've been able to like look at celebrities and it just seems like they're just off. Like it's not really, it's like there's no soul behind their eyes. And I know a lot of conspiracy theorists know about like, or think about the whole like selling their soul to the devil, stuff like that. I think of it more like a figurative, but also it could be literal. They could be literally just selling their soul to the devil, but it also could be the same thing as well. Like the literal meaning is the figurative meaning, because giving up your morals and like things that you kind of stand on for the glitz and glamour of the life that you think you want to live can literally be like giving your soul to the devil, basically. So, you know, who knows? I say it's a lot of stuff that's being like kind of swept under the rug, if that makes sense. It's kind of like a, like with celebrities nowadays. And I'm glad that the whole celebrity, like, you know, starstruck attitude that people had is like fading. And I think social media definitely had that to help with. Um, it's kind of like it's fading into obscurity because we see who the celebrities really are. Like social media helped with that, because now we're just like, all right, it was cool when y'all didn't really talk. Like we didn't really know y'all like that. Now we're realizing like y'all are, most of them are pretentious. Like the ones that aren't really like, you know, in the limelight a lot. They're keeping their lives like private and stuff like that. Like the J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar's, stuff like that. Like people, like of course they're the exceptions, but we don't know them. We can't say that they're the exception fully because we don't know these people. Like I would love to say that Kendrick has done no harm in his life, but I don't know him. I would love to say J. Cole has done no harm to anyone in his life, but I do not know him. Um, but yeah, so people are waking up. The veil is lifting. People are trying. People are starting to see that celebrities aren't like the thing to aspire to be anymore. Like fame is not the thing to be. Like at peace is the thing to be, and aware of what's going on because we've been lied to so much. So I think a lot of times, like we're going into the post-truth era, and people are trying to grapple with that. Like if you've been on Threads lately, I don't know if any of you have Threads. Most of you may come from my Threads account anyway, but most of them actually, like if you go through Threads long enough, you see that people are really like kind of hung up on like the trauma of being lied to for so long. And you can see that in how people respond, how people discuss things, like or like how people troll each other or whatever the case may be, or how someone can try to, there's a lot of like pseudo intellectualism. People are like, what's your where's your sources on Threads and all that stuff. And it's like, okay, you think you're like doing a good job of like researching and stuff like that. It's like, but really you're trying to prove this person wrong because you could literally just type in that subject into Google and figure it out yourself. You know what I'm saying? But I digress. People just like to argue and stuff. But we're in a post-truth era, so even a lot of those trolls and stuff are bots. Like they're not people; they're just bots that people may use to siphon energy, but it's also used to kind of keep you engaged with them. And so some of it is like malware. Like if you keep engaging with them long enough, somehow, some way, they're able to hack your account. Because I've even like had some run-ins where I was just like, "Yo, how did like this person?" I had to block and everything because they were just trolling so hard. And then eventually, I got this little notification that like so and so. I don't even know why it showed the username because I was like, "What the fuck?" But so and so tried to log into your account in San Francisco, and I'm not in San Francisco, so I was like, "Man, not you trying to." Are you really that mad at me? You're trying to hack my account? Like, I just found it so amusing. Like, why are you so mad at a stranger? Anyway, spiritual warfare. Um, But also, I did start following this one girl, Elizabeth April. She's a what is it called? A remote viewer. So of course, you always have to take everything you see on the internet with a grain of salt. So I'm not saying it's 100% belief, but she may be speaking some facts because a lot of what she says is like unbiased and also grounded in reality. Like, okay, I can see that. That makes sense. And of course, she, calls the other stuff. She's like, oh, this might sound woo woo, like, the whole spiritual stuff. So I see it as like anyone that says like this might sound woo woo is like you're not presenting yourself as a super spiritual person. And then like I can kind of respect that more if that makes sense. Because a lot of times like when someone tries to present themselves as like over the top super spiritual and I do this and I do that and I carry these crystals and da 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 da. I don't leave shit at home. I'm always strapped with the protection. Like, relax, relax. You don't even need that stuff. It's just tools, like a magic wand, pretty much to a magician. Like you don't need it. Your mind is what really does the work. It's just a tool so you can focus on something. So anyway, I digress. But that's how I feel about a lot of the people that like they use they use the aesthetics of spiritualism or spirituality in general to kind of, I don't know, kind of boost their image. But like even that's an understatement because it's not really boost their image. It's just to kind of compensate for the fact that they might not be that spiritual, or they think they know everything, and that's actually spiritual bypass. Like that's part of spiritual bypass, thinking that once you know, or like you've had a spiritual experience, you know everything now, like you're damn near god level, you're a prophet. Like no, everybody is a psychic in some ways. Everybody's connected to source because we're spiritual beings first before we're human. And we're always going to go back to being spiritual people and then have the choice, depending on who you are and what you did, you have the choice to whether you want to become human again or not, or, incarnate physically or not, and all that stuff. So, but I digress. Uh, the white hats is another thing I wanted to talk about. But the white hats is tied into like the whole Galactic Federation. So if you don't know what the Galactic Federation is, um, you could possibly relate it to like Rick and Morty if that's the way you like understand it. You know what I'm saying? It's like a group of extraterrestrials that kind of keep the peace or govern certain parts of space and all that stuff. So, not saying it's completely true, but I can believe it because anything is possible in this world. Like we are literally spiritual beings in a flesh suit and we're connected to it and have to use it to live. Like how is that not sci-fi enough to make you believe anything else sci-fi? You know, like our cells know what to do. If you've seen those like close-ups of like how certain enzymes carry another little part of something to a thing, and I was like, yo, these are little beings like people or like something like I feel like everything is sentient. Like you'll never know. That's why I speak positivity, or I try to speak positivity even into inanimate objects because it's all vibration. So like your computer will probably stop messing up if you speak nicely to it because it's a vibration. Whatever you put into the universe will come back to you. Same with your car. You cuss your car out, they ain't going. You know what I'm saying? Shit might start fucking up, but I say talk nice to it. Just treat it like a person. It has an aura itself because it has atoms. Anything with atoms has an aura or electromagnetic field, just like the Earth does. But let's get into some videos. I actually saw, let me see, something that reminded me of, I'm not sharing. I gotta share my screen. Sorry, y'all. All right. So this is actually what reminded me of a lot of what I was talking about earlier. Give me a second, y'all. This is so ghetto, y'all. It does not want to play.
If TikTok being banned does not radicalize you as an American citizen, you are intentionally missing the point because it's not about TikTok. It's the fact that Republicans and Democrats across all legislative branches can expeditiously and unanimously pull together like never before and probably never again to streamline legislation banning a social media app while completely ignoring everything important to us. They can't pull together to make sure my kids don't get shot while they go to school, to fix the economy, to mandate livable wages, to kick hedge funds out of single-family homes so I can afford my fucking mortgage again. They're doing fuck all about homeowners insurance, stealing billions of dollars from Americans, and then leaving them for dead while their homes wash away in a flood or burn to the fucking ground in a fire. They, like every other country, can't pull together to outlaw the poisonous substances that are put into our food, creating an epidemic of obese, diabetic, cancerous Americans who need to lean on a healthcare system. They do fuck all the mandate in way of quality of service or cost. They won't give us free healthcare. They won't invest in infrastructure or education. But all of their efforts collectively go to banning a social media app. California is on fire. North Carolina and Tennessee washed away. New Jersey has geoplasmic orbs over it. Our kids get shot in school, and our economy is on the brink of fucking collapse. But their top priority is banning social media. That's where the effort goes.
Oh, shit, that was loud as hell. Oh my gosh. But this guy also shares my same sentiment. Let me actually make sure everybody playing like it's supposed to.
Y'all niggas think I'm playing. I'm so serious. They banned TikTok. I'm going back to the block. I'm selling hard. I'm on that corner. Take it however you want it, bro. I'm not fucking playing around. Tuition ain't cheap, nigga. I'm full-time and I'm already working one job. I don't got time to be playing. I don't got time for y'all fucking shenanigans. Y'all don't want to raise minimum wage and y'all don't want to let motherfuckers be happy. I was already sad before y'all started doing this shit. And now y'all want to do more bullshit just because y'all ain't getting no money. Bitch, you already rich. You already got money to play with. I don't got shit. I just spent my last 20 on ramen. I just spent my last $20 bill that my grandma gave me on ramen. You niggas over here penny pinching by the act that's not even yours. You dick riding. You mad as shit. Your act's not cool. You dick riding. You mad as shit. You got a little bit of money. Other niggas got more money than you. You like, damn, what can I do to get some more money? You want to steal somebody else's shit. You dick riding. That shit not cool. Fuck the laws. Fuck the judicial system. Let people be happy. Let niggas be happy. People is telling you, oh, this act changed my life. It made me so happy. Now y'all want to ban the shit? Y'all don't care about people. Fuck wrong with y'all niggas, bro? I'm about to revolt. I'm about to start a whole revolution. Y'all keep fucking playing with me. Y'all gonna see me on the news. Y'all gonna see me on the fucking news. Watch this. Watch this. Talk about it's a security risk. Don't y'all got drones in the air? Don't y'all got multiple fucking drones in the air? I'm talking everywhere. Drones. And it's not even ours. It's other people's shit. It's people already in our shit. You worry about them? Oh my God. Fix yourself. Fix your fucking self when you worry about someone else. Oh my God.
Yeah, oh boy was snapping. But I share the same and sentiments. Like this is it's a lot of shit going on. And then not to mention the whole Dark Vatican thing. Hold on. Like if I don't If y'all don't know,
Who is
on
the Pope?
Christmas, on Christmas, the Pope actually opened a
He
portal.
is the Emperor of Rome. Rome never died,
about that.
never faded away. It became the Vatican. What is the Vatican? It is the priesthood of all of the old pagan religions of Rome, built upon the deception that they are Christian. Can man change the orders of God? Can man elevate himself above God? No. Then why did the Pope change the Sabbath from Saturday to Sunday, the venerable day of the worship of the sun Osiris? Why in the outer courtyard of the Vatican is there a temple of the sun, an obelisk, and a reflecting pool built as a falcon around the base of the obelisk? Because what we're talking about in Dealey Plaza and in Washington, D.C. exists also in the Vatican. And I'm not trying to insult Catholics, I'm just trying to tell you the truth.
I just got 3 questions. When the fuck did New Jersey get a volcano? How come none of the citizens that's from New Jersey knew they had a volcano in New Jersey? And then why I looked this shit up, the last time it erupted was 400 million years ago. What are y'all doing in 2025 to make it fucking want to come back?
It's hilarious. Like, what are we doing to make a volcano be like, you know what, I was chilling, but somehow they got to get it. They have to. But that's it for this video this time. I'll be probably doing some other stuff like playing games, whatever the case may be, and taking requests from other people on what type of content that y'all want to see. Don't forget the palette also comes out tomorrow, the 13th edition. That's the January edition. And I already have some amazing clients, amazing artists that are in it. But if you still want to be part of it, you have until tonight to submit some work. So let me know. And peace and blessings to everybody. I hope y'all keep y'all vibrations high.